All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case. Over on Rumble, of course, we will unpause and then repause. I see Last Beacon is spamming his emojis there. Last Beacon, come on, dude. Seriously. You are a facet on the Styx Hexen channel. You must use this power responsibly. We've got a lot of news to talk about today, actually, though. We've got quite a bit. For a Friday, it's actually a loaded news day. I've got too many things to talk about. I'm not even going to be able to cover everything. Trump says he's asking Justice Department to investigate Epstein's ties to some of his perceived political enemies. Yeah, in other words, Donald Trump is asking the DOJ to go after the Epstein list, and hopefully we get it unredacted. I'm not holding my breath for that particular one. I have a feeling that there's a reason why we're not getting that right off the bat. Although we should. We do deserve it. Archaeologists reveal unusual ritual objects from ancient biblical cult at Armageddon site. Yes, in Megiddo, actually. It's not a good idea to be digging around in Megiddo. Just to be clear for Judeo-Christians out there, that's not a good idea. Just saying, sometimes human reaction is greater than, the actual stuff that you're digging up or something like that. And we saw this with COVID, for example. It was the human reaction that was the problem, not COVID itself. Treasury's Besant says substantial relief on coffee and banana prices coming soon. This is good because I love coffee and I love bananas. I get my coffee for free thanks to Jam and Bean. That's what I'm talking about. And as far as bananas, yeah, if they were cheaper, that would be nice. I like bananas. You can smush them up and, mix them with other things and do all sorts of banana stuff. The truth about Argentina's bailout, which is not exactly a bailout. I explained this morning, but I'm going to include it in today's live video as well. And we've got a bunch of other stuff. We got Fetterman, and well, that's meaningless. Fetterman, another DOJ probe, and immigrants, and so forth. J.D. Vance actually weighed in on immigrants, saying that because 30 million illegals came into the country, that's fucking with the housing market. This is fundamentally true. And by the way, it's happening in Western Europe as well. Johnson shifts strategy on Epstein files vote as GOP leaders brace for mass defections. I believe that you should defect under these circumstances. I believe that the Epstein files should be released, completely unredacted, to the American people. Speaking of Jam and Bean, that's what I'm talking about. Mystery Train Styx ignoring the THC ban. No, I am not. I stand with Rand Paul on that particular provision within the budget. I am not happy about the fact that they pushed through with the hemp deal. What I would say is hemp is, you're not going to smoke it to get high. It's hemp. You can use it for rope. You can use it for paper. Actually, we should be getting back to using hemp for paper as well anyway, because it's simply longer lasting. It's better in every single way. It's also more renewable. I would think that the leftoid environmentalists would want this. Unfortunately, they haven't really taken the fore on the subject. So yeah, I do not believe in banning hemp. I do not believe in banning CBD products. I do not believe in banning THC. If somebody wants to get high, who gives a fuck? It means absolutely nothing to me. Last Beacon, hey Styx, ping us. Spike. Scott Bessent is one of the best Trump picks. Years ago, he's the one that broke the British pound. The perfect person to protect the dollar and made that currency swap deal. Plus Intel deal as well. Yeah, the currency swap with Argentina, we're going to be getting into that, actually, in this video. Last Beacon says coffee over and over again. My God, that's a lot of coffee. Yeah, Grums. Let's get fucked up, Sticks. Smoke the ganja. Yeah, I totally never do that, by the way. No, I'm a teetotaler and stuff like that, you know. I do have jam and bean tea, admittedly. Last Beacon is still saying coffee over and over again. I'm not going to say that it's a problem. Coffee is good. Pancakes, listening to you at work every day helps the workday go by fast. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry that I was a little bit late. Actually, I was napping for a while. And I normally do not do that, but I was exhausted, so I took like a 2-hour nap. And now I feel much better, actually. Which reminds me, we'll get to our sponsors in a bit. But, yeah, you gotta take those mushroom pills right away. We need more energy. We need more mushrooms. That's what I'm talking about. They do work. I will certify them myself. Normally, I do not give medical advice, but if I had to give any medical advice, take the fucking mushroom pills. It's just a good idea. Let's get to the first news story of the day, though. First, Trump says he's asking Justice Department to investigate Epstein's ties to some of his perceived political enemies. This is where Trump runs afoul. It is good to release the Epstein files. You should release them all, unredacted, no redactions at all, declassify everything, unredact everything, just fucking release them to the Republic. The problem is that Donald Trump is walking a tightrope here, and I think I know why. It has nothing to do with him being culpable for anything. We know that he banned Epstein from his properties, apparently banned Ghislaine Maxwell as well, among other things, and we know that he himself is not culpable for any of the wrongdoing that was involved with Rape Island. That being said, there are people associated with him that are definitely culpable. Yeah, this makes sense because he made a lot of high-powered friends throughout the years, and some of those people are probably named in the documents. So he has been shielding them by, not releasing the documents. Personally, I think he should just throw them under the goddamn bus. For politically pragmatic reasons alone, it would make sense to simply release the documents unredacted, let the public take action. Let's get to the court of public opinion. The court of public opinion is far more vicious than any actual court in the land. If people look at somebody who is self-branded, they're a sports star or something like that, and they went to Little St. James, they're going to get crucified. That's probably what Trump is seeking to avoid. I would say don't bother seeking to avoid that. Just let him, throw him under the bus. Fucking, deal with them, basically. Last Beacon is saying ping us over and over again. Hey, ping us. I get the reference, my friend. Yeah, just let the files go out and let people react as they will. People will generally parse through them. They will generally be intelligent enough to understand what they're seeing, and they will generally be intelligent enough to lash out at people that deserve it. Pancakes. Oh, I already read that. Skippy, Argentina helped the boys out in a pinch in 1945, so I have no problem helping Argentina out 80 years later. Yeah, it wasn't even really a help out or something like that. It was more like, hey, we're going to swap currency. We'll stabilize your economy. We're betting on the peso. The peso will probably rise. It did, by the way. And then we make money off of the currency swap. We made billions of dollars. It's pretty great, actually, when you think about it. Sigil Stone, good morning, Clankers. Got the day off and a pile of Taco Bell. Video game time, my niggas. That's what I'm talking about. Gotta get that Taco Bell. I hope you got some of the soft tacos. They used to have those really great grillers I don't think that they have them anymore. They were, the burger grillers were excellent, actually. But then they discontinue them. With everything else under the sun that is actually good, they always discontinue it. Took me over a year, actually, to get those pizza treats that they had at the Jumbo over in the Netherlands. It's like, oh, this is great. Oh, yeah, of course. You discontinued it. Yeah, not a surprise. It happens all the time. Kaiju Cat Media, for the rare and radiant booty whom the twerking angels bore, twerk ass forevermore. Last beacon, run afoul. Oh, I see that King of Biltong is here. Anton is here. That means that it is Bovright time. Yeah. And a good time that it is. It pairs just about perfectly with the Chinese 5 spices and a little bit of cayenne, actually. Sigil, I got regular, I got supreme, I got crunchy, I got soft. We eating good for lunch today. That's what I'm talking about, my man. A.R. Shepherd Writings. Hi, Sticks. Long time clanker, first time super chatter. Today is my birthday, which I took off from work. Can I get a birthday shout out? Damn right you can get a birthday shout out. Happy birthday to you, A.R. Shepherd Writings. Yeah, you're piled up there for a reason. That's what I'm talking about. Brett Herbert, who is a specific troll on the channel. This gay loser pirate is about to defend Hepaphilis like Megyn Kelly. I can declassify things with my mind, but not the Epstein files. Say hi to Rat Dad for me. Mute me, bitch. You'll never get muted on this channel for such petulant nonsense. I don't do that. No, that's beyond me. But as far as your comment goes, yes, indeed, I believe that Donald Trump should release the Epstein files completely. I don't understand why he doesn't. He could work around the enemy very, very easily by doing so. I'm assuming that it's because some people in his orbit are associated with Epstein more closely than he was. He kicked him off of his properties. He's, untouchable on this particular issue. But the problem is that he is surrounded by people who went to Little St. James. Trump himself did not. And when they talk about like taking girls from the property, okay, again, when you're in your 50s, what does girl mean? College age? That's a girl. That's a girl. That's a young girl. There's nothing pedophilic about it. It's just Trump didn't want him recruiting his own talent, so to speak. Happened all the time, apparently. Happened regularly. No, Bert, it's not a hebephile defense. I don't believe in that term. If you're interested in small children, you're a pedo. There's no such thing as a hebephile. You are either interested in young children or you're interested in big tits and dripping vaginas and stuff like that. I happen to be in the latter category. Delicious, by the way. But Trump, he's interested in the latter as well. But, I mean, when he uses the term girl, he's talking about somebody who's 20. Yeah, okay, it's a younger person, clearly younger than you, but it's not pedophilia. No, it's just, come on. Sigil Stone, Trump won't release the Epstein files because he doesn't want to be anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's the other problem there. Yeah, give me some boobs. I need some vagina, stat. It's important. Last beacon, moisture, 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 moisture. God damn, dude. You're relentless. I respect you for your relentless trolling. Bert 2028. Actually, I'd probably vote for the dude. He's nuts enough, you know. You want to be president of the United States? You better be a little bit nuts, because nobody normal is seeking that position. We're gonna get a Burt campaign going, I guess. Trump says he's asking Justice Department to investigate Epstein's ties to some of his perceived political enemies. This is another story that needed to be said, and then I'll get to the sponsors. The Justice Department investigating Epstein's ties to various political groups and individuals as well is not abnormal. The idea that Donald Trump is going after his political enemies, I think that says more about the people that dislike him. So basically, all of your enemies are pedophiles. Basically, all of your enemies want to fuck kids. And you're going after them. And somehow the legacy media, higher-ups are saying, well, he's going after his political enemies. Yeah, because they've broken the law. That's literally the only thing that we're seeing here. Yes, okay, so your political enemies are a bunch of pedos, and you've decided to investigate them, right? Well, yeah, that makes sense now, doesn't it? They are terrible people. They are predating upon children. Are you not allowed to go after them? Is it something that's, it's sacrosanct, apparently. You're not allowed to go after them because then you're being tyrannical, I guess, or something like that. I couldn't even imagine it. When I saw this story, when I saw it, actually, it's on CNN right now. When I saw the story, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so is Trump not allowed to go after people that are doing something that is objectively evil, that is objectively wrong in some way? They're predating upon children. Okay, well then you go after them. It doesn't matter what their political views are. Who gives a fucking shit? Yeah, you should round them up and you should put them in the fucking camp. I don't understand. I literally do not understand what the objection is to this. Oh, we rounded up some pedophiles. But Donald Trump didn't like them. So obviously, Orange Man bad. Okay, dude. If you want to believe that, then whatever. Kaiju Cat. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me. Filled me with a fantastic booty never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating. That's some poetry right now. Last Beacon says piss over and over again. That's what I'm talking about. This is why my chat should not be taken seriously. We have piss. We have shit. We have all sorts of other stuff. Expecting a serious chat from Styx Hexendom is probably not going to happen. Joe. Oh shit. Got black-pilled yesterday watching Tim Pool talking about population collapse and economic collapse and Republicans not being united and losing 2026. I would say that probably in the midterms, the Republicans will suffer. Historically speaking, that would be the norm. I think that they'll do far, far better in the next general election, though. Bert Herbert. Styx is a retard lolcow with Ethan Ralph. Yeah, I went on his show, actually, only a few days ago. Had a great time as well. Damned. Bring your own full-body condom. Yeah, I remember that scene from... What was it? I can't remember. There was that comedy show where the dude had, like, a full-body condom on. I can't remember. Yeah, Naked Gun. Thank you, CP Simple. Yeah, it was Naked Gun 2, and he had like a full body condom on before he did the deed. It's pretty funny. Last Beacon says 67 over and over again. Nobody knows what the hell you're referring to, my dude. Apocalypse Wow, Dog Day Afternoon is free on YouTube. Great movie. Let's get to our sponsors before we get to the rest of the news, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. We have multiple sponsors. We have, of course, cultivated-mind.com. You can get mushroom pills from them. Also, Doggy Dose. I call it Doggo Dose, but that's a little bit of a different name. You can eat the drugs. They will make sure that you are, your longevity will be expanded, so to speak. It will improve your hair. It will make it more shiny and so forth. Actually, it does seem to work. It's also neuroregenerative, if that makes sense. Basically, you take it, and it makes you more energetic. It really does work. Speaking as a non-medical professional, it does actually work. We've got BiltongUSA.com. Every time we mention Anton, we gotta eat some biltong. Eat a little bit of delicious. With the Chinese 5 spices, it works. It's great. We've got biltong, we've got Vegemite, Marmite, all sorts of other things. He's got meat, of course, Angus, sticks, sticks, pun intended. Yeah, you've got the Angus sticks, the Cabanassi. You can take those out when you're going camping. You've also got Wagyu and stuff like that. You can put that in soup. It's a good idea. I strongly recommend it. And then finally, we have jamandbean.com. That smells awfully good. I want to brew up a batch right now. We've got jamandbean.com, jamandbean.com, where you can get Six Hexenhammer coffee, and you can also get teas available as well. Yunnan Jig, which is great. I had a story this morning about the Yunnan Jig. I brewed a pot, and my mom, I think, believed that it was just the decaf coffee that she had brewed, and so she dumped it out. So I didn't get any tea this morning. I was really, really pissed off. I was upset. We'll just put it that way. That's what I'm talking about. Brandon, nobody cares about the Epstein issue. It's inconsequential. We care about the cost of living. I think that we care about both, honestly. Apocalypse Wow, Dog Day Afternoon is free on YouTube. Great movie. Never seen it. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Anton is there. Anton, you're there. That means we have to get salty. A little bit of the Chinese 5 spices. That's what I'm talking about. I just like doing that for effect. It also is tasty, so it's all good. Spicy, salty cracker. Cashew Cat Media. 'Tis some dummy thick, entering entrance into my chamber door. Some late visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. That it is, and nothing more. I know the Edgar Allan Poe. 'Tis some visitor at my door, nothing more. Looks like Three-Eye Atlas, maybe just send a radio signal. Didn't break up after passing sun, and still no visible tail. Have a wonderful weekend, good sir, says Meisner Flux. Thank you very much. I'm keeping an eye on that fucking comment. Just saying. Balls. What's your favorite MRE, dear? Mine was liquid blueberry pie that I had in training. As far as MREs, I really like the vegetarian lasagna, actually, which has been discontinued. I thought that was the best menu, actually, it was available. I think they're bringing it back, which is a good idea. They should. You know, you get that in the field, you've got your protein, you've got everything else that you could possibly need. It is possible to make an MRE vegetarian. Last Beacon says weed over and over again. Haha, there's plenty of weed, man. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage. Tim Pool had a guest who said that if the Aurora Borealis from the other day would have lasted another 4 hours, it would have fried the entire power grid. Huh. Maybe. I don't know. It's always possible, though. Sigil. Explosions in the night. Your fucking ship is burning bright. Your doom comes from the sea. Killed to death by piracy. Gunfire and cannon blast. The pirate horde will kick your ass. Yeah, we will kick their ass. Your death comes from the sea. Killed to death by piracy. That's what I'm talking about. Harrison Bergeron, you know housing is fucked up when rent on a 1-bedroom apartment costs more than the mortgage on a house that sits on 4 wooded acres. Yeah, it's, housing has become a real problem. It's not even recent. Alright, let's talk about Tel Megiddo. Yeah, Armageddon site. There's a way to get the Judeo-Christians riled up. Ritual artifacts belonging to the Canaanites, an ancient people referred to in the Old Testament, were recently found in Israel, along with a 5,000-year-old wine press. The Israel Antiquities Authority announced the find near Tel Megiddo on November 5th. The excavation was carried out alongside the construction of Highway 66. Quite mimetic. In the Jezreel Valley. Tel Megiddo is famously referenced in the Book of Revelation. The site is referred to as Armageddon, closely related to the Hebrew phrase Har Megiddo, which translates to Mountain of Megiddo. In terms of time frame, the finds range from Israel's early Bronze Age, around 3000 BC, to the late Bronze Age, around 1270 BC. The standout artifacts were rock-carved wine press, which officials described as the oldest ever discovered in Israel. Wonderful! You're excavating Tel Megiddo. Multiple religions probably would look askance to this. Just saying. Just saying that Christians and Jews might not take kindly to excavating the things at Tel Megiddo specifically. I, as a pagan, I have no problem with it. Do whatever you want. It's just archaeology. But the human response is a little bit different than the more core response. My response to them exhuming things from Megiddo is, well, you've got an interesting archaeological artifact. That's pretty cool, But other people might not have the same view. It's sort of the same as with the lockdownerism. Some people put the face diapers on, and they went through the motions, and they did everything that they were told to do, and, everything's kosher. Some of us decided not to do so, and just ignored the so-called rules because they were retarded. But when you get people up in a dander about, archaeological remains, which may be of religious significance, sometimes things can go wrong. And so that's what I worry about. I don't worry about the remains themselves. It's just a couple of wine presses or something like that. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. But if people give it importance, and therefore they act accordingly, that can be a problem. And so I would suggest leave them alone. Okay, you found a couple of wine presses, put them back in the ground. Just leave them there. Let them sit, let them rot, and don't ever touch them again. Just leave them there, because people who are actually alive will be more likely to pop off as a result of you finding these things. Last beacon, mushroom pills. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, fuck the remains at Megiddo. Let them sit there. Let them sit there and rot. I mean, they're not going anywhere anyway. You can always dig them up later when people are more civilized, I suppose. It'll take a while, though. These people have not built a stable civilization in thousands of years, so, we're still waiting. Damned. That wasn't a wine press. It is a penis stretcher. That's always possible. Give me that penis. Put it in this machine. Don't worry, it'll be 4 inches longer when we're done. It'll hurt a lot, but, That would actually be funny. Treasury's Besant says substantial relief on coffee and banana prices coming soon. Treasury Secretary says actions will target food such as bananas and coffee. I get my coffee for free, so I don't care about the latter. As far as the former, I do like bananas. They're yummy, you can smush them up and, put other things with them. And you can smush up the bananas, and they're delicious. That being said, I do not support the Trump administration doing anything wild in order to actually stabilize these prices. But if you can do it organically, no problem with that. It shouldn't be hard either. I mean, it's fucking bananas, after all. Coffee is easily obtained. Bananas, they're even more easily obtained. Let's go ahead and get those fucking bananas. Sigil, last beacon, last beacon, last beacon, last beacon. You're repeating it over and over. What are you doing with your life? You could give me $2 to show me something that's actually actionable, but you never do that. Yeah, we're gonna get some bananas. Kaiju Cat Media. With the clapping still unceasing, thrilled, me filled we with wild pleasing. Straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of ass and door. But the clapping still unceasing, filled me with wild pleasing. Straight as I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of ass and door, that upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking. Good poetry, actually. I know the Raven as far as poetry goes. Brandon, I think opium should be legal. It's a good middle-of-the-road drug between the hardiness of alcohol and the softness of marijuana to help people relax. Yeah, I think that all drugs should be legal, honestly. Kaiju Cat. Fancy unto fancy, thinking what this clapping booty bore. What twerk it was, this dummy thick, clapping at my chamber door. Good adaptation, actually. Rabatha still hasn't perved on me. It's a big problem. Skippy, is he drunk, Bert? No, actually, no. I'm, drinking tea at the moment. Apparently we have poetry night. The truth about Argentina's bailout. Now, this is something that we need to talk about at length. We did not bail out Argentina. Just to be clear, we did a currency swap. That means that we traded tens of billions of US dollars for pesos. Because the peso rose, we then made a shit ton of money. And by a shit ton of money, I mean a fucking shit ton. A huge amount of money. It was actually a great, great deal. And so the United States invested in Venezuela, pulled its money back out, and then it got more money than it was due, actually. We got a shit ton of it. This was a good idea. Now, this is something that the federal government doesn't often do actually at all. Normally, the federal government invests in some program and the money is squandered away, basically. In this particular case, we actually managed to make money. It's inexplicable. The federal government actually made money. Oh my God. That doesn't happen very often. But they managed to make it work on this particular occasion. And so I congratulate them. Because it doesn't happen very often. Oh, yeah. FB, the Uniparty press are framing it as the government slashing ruined the economy and we had to bail them out. Yeah, that's exactly how they're framing it. The reality is that we gave Argentina money, we borrowed back money from them, we expected it to appreciate because the money would stabilize, and it did. And we made billions of dollars actually on this transaction. It's pretty funny, actually. We made a shit ton of money on this transaction. Fathom and Draven. I saw an Epstein email that said that he was at Mar-a-Lago for a Thanksgiving in 2017. He mentioned Trump was there. What do you think? Nothing. The fact that Trump would be there, if it's at the Mar-a-Lago, that makes perfect sense. And the fact that he was not in communication with Epstein at the time also makes sense. The fact that Epstein was there means absolutely nothing to me. You get to realize, sometimes, believe it or not, the person in command of the property, etc., cannot manage everything themselves. Trump cannot be asked to manage every single thing that happens on his property. It's not possible. Oh yeah, then we can get to Argentina's so-called bailout. Yeah, the United States decided to do a currency swap with Argentina. We traded US dollars for Argentine pesos. And it worked very, very well. In the end, we ended up making a shit ton of money off of this particular parlance. Some people called it a bailout of Argentina. mostly people that didn't like the Trump regime. But they were wrong, and they calculated a little bit differently, because it seems that we actually made money off of this particular transaction. How wonderful. With the federal government actually made money for once. We should give them credit for the fact that they were capable of doing so. Because normally, the federal government gets involved in something, right? And they pile money into some sort of, future or something like that. And then they lose money, and it makes no sense, and nobody is happy. And yeah, you got a 90% return. Haha, that's the best that you can possibly hope for. In this particular case, we managed to make over a 100% return. Haha, yeah! We made a shit ton of money off of this currency swap. Donald Trump was wise to throw himself into the breach, so to speak. You prop up Argentina, while at the same time making a lot of money for people at home. I don't see any problem with this. No, it's not a problem. It's more like, hey, you actually did something that was positive for the country? Holy shit. Yeah, holy goddamn Jesus. That hasn't happened in a wild fort year. Mostly, when the government gets involved, it's like, yeah, we got 90% on return. Yeah, it's wonderful. In this particular case, we actually got more than 100% return. What are you complaining about? Can I ask that question? If you get more than a 100% return, what are you complaining about? Nothing, actually. Literally nothing. The left is both trying and being retarded about the currency swap deal. They know what it is, but they don't want to give Trump credit. Yeah, I know. They don't want to give him credit for this. Trump manages to make hundreds of millions of dollars. They're not willing to give him credit. Sigil sticks missed rant. Oh, shit. Oh. Peep this new series YouTube recommended me. It's documentary style of a guy that lived in a haunted house because the rent is cheap. And then there is the link. As far as the Epstein files, that makes no sense. I don't even understand why the GOP is really bringing it up at this point. Kicksoft. Ahoy, Captain. You afraid that you maybe lose your swashbuckling job to one of those Asian clankers who are surfing the old Trump H-1B ticket. Just kidding. You're too unique. Have a nice one. That's what I'm talking about. Berta Herbert. Gay Heba pirate drunk at 1 a.m. in Rat Dad's attic. Yeah, I'm not in the attic, my dude. I'm also not drunk, actually. Fathom and Draven. I saw an Epstein email that said that he was on Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving in 2017. He mentioned that Trump was there. What do you think? I believe that Trump was not there, honestly. I do not think that he was, there at all. I do not believe it. Star. Before you sell, does your house contain any ghosts? Plenty of them. Trust me. Plenty of them. Fireburn. Trump is doing great with killing MAGA. Yeah, there are some problems, admittedly. We need to address those, by the way. Because Trump, yeah, while he's doing a good job, there are some glaring problems with his push forward, so to speak. You are correct, sir. Sigil Stone, is your insomnia kicking in again? It always kicks in. It's always a problem. Unfortunately, I'm not really able to sleep. I do the best that I can. I wish that I could simply sleep a good night and that I could, wake up in the morning, but that's not going to happen. Unfortunately. I am extremely tired. To all of those out there, I really am very tired. Long Viking rum. Sigil Stone. Maybe the solution you need is to make soap and bomb credit card companies. I don't know what the fuck that means, my man. But yes, I am tired. It doesn't matter though. I can jag myself up with mushroom pills and things like that, and everything is fine. It doesn't matter. I would tell you what it references, but rules 1 and 2, I can't talk about it. Food challenge time. Mix strong coffee and a big glob of bovite. Oh, that doesn't sound very good. Ew. We're going into Thanksgiving and shit, bitch. Yeah. We're going into the celebratory city. I'm going to be doing Thanksgiving celebrations by slaying my enemies. Yeah. Slaying them completely. You'd be surprised at what I can do in Napoleon Total War. You go ahead and go against me. It'll be a good time, had by all. I will destroy you. Copium poppies. How about a big handful of candy corn? You are disgusting. Rupert von Darth. Modafinil. Shit. Is awesome for smooth wakefulness. I'm on some now. Prescription form. As long as you get a prescription. Sigil. What the sleep? Snapping the nudes. God damn, you're incessant. This is why we love Sigil Stone. He is allowed, he is given a pass with regards to fucking around. We're gonna go live with Sleazy P Martini later. I'm gonna go off now. This is enough. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream, and if people want to continue to tune in, you can go ahead. It's perfectly fine. That's what I'm talking about.